Hey guys, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 3, which is Power Broker. Probably not going to go on as long as I usually do with these. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting anybody watching. If somebody does come on and starts asking questions, I'll answer them and everything. However, I am dead tired today. I went to bed at like 3 in the morning last night and woke up at 7. This was a great episode, don't get me wrong, but the fact that I only had 4 hours of sleep, I was almost falling asleep during this episode. But I do remember everything that happened, so we're just going to talk about it. Just see what's going on and see what new questions are brought up. So, again, if you have a question, make sure you put it in the description, or if you're watching this later, put it in the comments and we'll discuss it. So the first thing that we get is we get a commercial, which reminded me of WandaVision, in all honesty, that basically was advertising I forgot what they were called, but for the people that came back from the blip, it was like the repatriatism, something like that, which then we are immediately right after that. It's like almost like a 3-minute commercial that goes right into what John is doing to try to track down the Flag Smashers. Which, what I found really interesting in this was for the two scenes that John had, kind of showed his bad side. And then for 2 of the 3 scenes that the Flag Smashers had, especially Carly, we got like a sympathetic background for her. So it was kind of interesting to see who is supposed to be perceived as the hero, or one of the heroes, acting bad. And then we have the perceived villains having a sympathetic and understandable backstory until the end of the episode, which we'll get to that. But yeah, so after that, we're treated to them going and talking to Zemo, which Bucky talking to Zemo very much felt like Silence of the Lambs at the beginning, which then turned into him and Sam communicating the plan as it was unfolding, almost like a heist movie of breaking out Zemo. And Sam is totally against it, and then the next thing you know, Zemo's there. So it actually happened already, and Bucky didn't ask permission, which he broke one of the rules and stuff like that. After that, we get them kind of working together and trying to figure out where to go next. And we find out that we find Zemo's mask, and then we also find out that Zemo's rich. And it's kind of alluded to that Zemo's never really been that good of a guy. What I mean by that is they kind of played off in Civil War that he's kind of just this average guy that got pushed to the brink because he lost his family, and that turned him into this murdering psychopath. But this episode kind of plays it more that he was always this crazed murderous psychopath that had his family die on top of that. So there's kind of just a lot of like tug and pull about Zemo's character. We're finding out more about him that is also making it more mysterious at the same time too. But yeah, after that, and they're like doing callbacks, like they're talking about how Zemo killed T'Challa's father and everything like that. But yeah, so after that, we're treated to the first Flag Smasher scene, which what that is with the sympathetic stuff is that Carly's relative, I think it's her relative, they didn't really say who it was, is dying, and she's there trying to support her, and that kind of shows with them getting the vaccines. There's a bunch of people that are sick with whatever they have, which they might have hinted at tuberculosis, definitely for Carly's relative, for tuberculosis, but they don't really show who else got anything or what everybody else had in that time. So it's kind of obvious that the Flag Smashers are doing something good, but they're doing it in a bad way. Which this episode is, that's kind of the theme of this episode, is people viewing that the ends justify the means. So like the Flag Smashers, there's the last scene where they blow up a building full of people. They're doing it to prove a point that they need to help other people, which that's a ends justify the means of them justifying blowing up a building of people for them to get justify that, well, you treat poor people like this too. And then it, Sam and Bucky breaking out Zemo to get the Flag Smashers. They're going to get the Flag Smashers for the ends, but the means that are unjustifiable is breaking a murdering psychopath out of prison. And even in the scenes with John, they blatantly kind of say it, which we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, we go to Madripoor for the first time, which Madripoor seemed pretty cool. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Suicide Squad Gotham, along with Mos Eisley, and just like kind of that theme where which is what it's supposed to be giving off of wretched height of scum and villainy, since that's really what Madripoor is just scum and villainy. And they go to a bar and they have to play these evil characters, which Zemo's basically being himself. Bucky has to be the Winter Soldier again, and Sam's doing a Smiling Tiger, I think he is. Which I'm not familiar if that is a Marvel super villain. But yeah, they were playing it with him, and there's a little gag about Sam having to drink a snake organ, because that's apparently Smiling Tiger's favorite thing. And Bucky has to basically literally become the Winter Soldier and beat the crap out of a bunch of people. But yeah, we get that and everything, and you could tell it Bucky's messed up. But then we were met by who we thought was going to be the power broker, but was kind of one of his assistants. And they tell them to go and meet somebody else, and Sam's phone goes off, which gives away that they are not who they say they are. And then the assistant gets killed, and then we get a John Wick scene. This episode was heavily inspired by other things, but what I mean by that is they're walking, and literally everybody in Madripoor gets a text for a bounty out on them, which the whole time I was sitting there, I was thinking about the end of John Wick 2 when I saw that. But yeah, and then turns out that Sharon Carter was protecting them. She's in Madripoor because she is an enemy of the state, and there's no way of her kind of going back. Although I think there is, she just does not want to go back. That is what I'm viewing with it, really, is that she's kind of adjusted to this lifestyle because she's become a lot more brutal. The next scene where they're interrogating the scientist, Sharon's out defending him, and she's almost as brutal, if not more brutal, than Bucky was when he was pretending to be the Winter Soldier. Which shows that she's completely adjusted to this lifestyle, which again ends justify the means with her theme. But yeah, anyway, so while she's defending him, they have to talk to this doctor, and it turns out that there was 20 vials of super soldier serum that he basically stole and rerouted the blood of Isaiah to create this. And the reason why he had to go to Madripoor to do this was because he was blipped out and then came back and lost his job and everything, which seems to be another theme in the series as a whole, is what's happening to people after the blip, which is pretty cool in seeing that too. Then after that, Zemo finds a gun and shoots him, and then we see then everybody starts attacking the little hideout that they're in. Bucky and Sam get into an argument because they go the wrong way, and Sam's again basing things off of action movies. And next thing you know, Zemo puts on his mask, and then he goes a little ham, and you think that he's going to either try to kill Sam, Sharon, and Bucky, but instead or just run away. But instead he grabs a car and he's like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to randomly shoot the guy and run away. And then they end up going to Latvia, not Latveria, because I thought it was Latveria the first time, but it's Latvia. And they're walking through, and Bucky goes, you know what, I want to go for a walk. And he starts walking away, and he's seeing these little balls, and the balls are from Wakanda. They want Zemo because he killed King T'Chaka. Now, there are 2 more scenes I'm going to cover, and then we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, I'm sorry it's short today. But the other scene was John interrogating people. And actually, I did miss something in the first scene with John. Was we do kind of see him go a little unhinged. He gets spit on and starts screaming, "Do you know who I am?" Right at the guy. It looks like he's about to beat the crap out of him, which he has to get stopped by Battlestar before he does it. And anyways, in this next scene, they're at the prison that Zemo broke out of. And like I said, what the theme of this episode was of ends justifying the means, where he blatantly says it, is they go, oh, so we're going to have to go off the books to do this? And he goes, do they really care if we get the job done what we do? Which, again, ends justify the means in that theme. And then we get another final scene with the Flag Smashers of them blowing up the building, which we already talked about. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Sorry to only sum it up in 10 minutes, but like I said, long day. And although a lot did happen in this episode, not a lot to share. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please follow me on all my other social media that's down in the description below, or will be down in the description below. And thank you guys. Have a great day. And remember, we're all heroes on the inside.